Well, hey folks, it's Ben. I'm here in my 1998 full-size Chevy pickup. It's a Silverado C1500. And the issue I have is an interesting one because most of you, or a lot of you, have seen the video where I've actually repaired the circuit board on the windshield wiper motor in order to get my windshield wipers to work and to get my washer fluid to work. But unfortunately, I'm back in the scenario where if I go to put wash, I don't get any windshield washer fluid. Well, okay, fine. So I took my own advice and resoldered the board, and yep, come back and I still don't have any windshield washer fluid. Come to find out, it died the traditional way. I have to replace the pump. So we're gonna get into that and show you how to replace the windshield washer pump on a 1998 and probably all the way back to 88. I call it a Silverado, but just a full-size Chevy pickup. Now to get to our windshield washer fluid pump, it actually is kind of a little bit of a dig. Here's the fill cap, obviously, it's on the driver's side. And I guess I've seen videos and pictures where there was a storage box here, but mine never came with that. I always thought it was a second place for like a diesel. I'm sure it was. But in my case, there may have been a box here, but it's not there anymore. But we gotta get this down, and I guess the tank is right underneath it. So we'll get to that as well. We gotta undo one bolt as far as I know, and it's located actually under the fender here. So look out, we'll put some cleaner on that so we make sure our threads don't get wrecked. And we'll take that out, and I guess we're gonna take this out as well. Not sure how well the sun's gonna block me here, but there's also another bolt right here on the pan, so we'll have to undo that one. And there might be one elsewhere, but I don't see it yet. Reminder that this is a 10mm that's here. The one under the fender is 14, probably 13 actually. 14 was kind of loose. And then I took my screwdriver and I just popped this clip back and said, oh, what if I lift up? And it popped right up entirely. So that was pretty cool. So I'll come in, and this whole tray, which we can debate putting back in. It's just an extra battery tray. I'll just throw that over there for now. And then this is the actual tank itself, which you can probably leave exposed. And I guess there is a little guy here, and then we can wiggle this nozzle out and just leave the tank as is. And it looks like there's a nut over here. It's probably another 10. So we'll pop it out too, and we'll see where we're at with that. Wrong again on this one. This is actually a 7 up here. Body one was a 10, but the one that holds the spout up, a couple wiggles to get it loose, and I should be able to get it out by hand. In theory, this is where you probably would have left the 10 in. I took it out already because I got to wiggle the nozzle out. And I'm going to need 2 hands for that. But oh, well, I'm a little hosed here. Looks like someone glued this in. It always helps when you film your segments, you know. So I just grabbed mine by the neck and pulled it up, and it was catching on something down here, but it ended up pulling right out, and I kind of wiggled it up, and voila, here you go. And there was this cover over the front of it that I then just pulled off, and there's like a little Velcro piece there. And I already unplugged it. Like I said, I shot the whole segment, talked about it and everything. But this is the contacts that you would check if you were testing for the pump. If you didn't want to buy one yet, if you weren't, and you put your voltometer across that, and you should get 12 volts. When someone's inside with the key on running the washer, and then if you're not getting fluid, it's probably the pump. But I've already bought one of these. They're about 30 bucks. I got mine at Napa, so it's not expensive, not cheap. And by setting the tank like this, I'm hoping we're not going to spill too much over the front of the car either. It is a full tank. I don't know why I filled it the other time. And I think someone had broken the neck and kind of caulked it up here because it's kind of crappy. That's why I didn't pull it when I did. So I should be able, everything here is just in wiggle land. So I should be able to just wiggle this out and wiggle the pump off of it. But I'm going to go at my new pump first, make sure it's the right one. It's like one of the things we were fighting getting this out was this rubber here that probably keeps it from wiggling around too much. So that's interesting. And then I wrote on my box, because I bought this pump like 6 months ago when it hit me, I should change that pump out. And of course it's just essentially a small red box, right? And so if I had sold the truck or whatever, I'd be like, what the heck's this for? But it says it's a windshield washer pump, so that's obviously, and I got a 665 1614. And hey, this is promising. drop it. Looks fairly identical. It's not quite identical, but it tells me I got a little plastic snap, and I do right there, to pop out and then up. So that's cool. It looks like it's close enough to work for our application. So let's do that. It's oh, and it comes with a new bottom washer in the box too, for the bottom tank part here. So if we yank that whole thing out, we'll be okay. So let's just go ahead and wiggle. It's already let go of the top side. Maybe I should give this side a yank. Camera's just being dinked today. So I filmed popping it out and everything, but here's the old pump, right? So I put the new one in, and that's where I ended off on that little clip here. And then I pressed the new one in, and then you just drop the new pump in. And one of the cool things about it was the pump the plug-in turns. So even though the plug wasn't lined up, like compared to this pump, like this one doesn't rotate, the top of this one does, which probably makes it a universal application. Plug that one back in and plug the power in, which I think we're not following the route because our tank's out of its hole, right? Doesn't seem to be leaking too bad. But at this point, we're ready to try it out, see if it runs. Looks, oh, I bet you if you had a Suburban or something like that, you probably had the back pump and stuff here, and it would run out first. So your windshield, you know, you'd have a little bit left for your windshield. That's cool. So that's why the two, very multi-purpose. Good job, GM. Let's hop inside and see if this actually fixed it or not. Okay, so we're back on. Let's see. I think I hear something. Figure the system's fairly deprimed, right? And no. That didn't work at all. Or this thing's running dry. Take one. I had it, but it might have been running dry because it wasn't working. So let's see where we go with this one. Oh, it sounds good. I hear the pump running, but if the system's dry, I can definitely hear it running though. So we're there, almost. So the pump's definitely running, but I'm not getting any washer fluid out. So that's also disappointing. So now we've got to come back to where does it go, somewhere where we can separate it. But if we got, we're not going to put that back together yet. Let's go up the engine and see if we can find something. So our hose comes up through here and under the fender well and under the computer and up to the fuse relay center, and there's a connection where it can connect from the cab, probably a factory assembly. So I've disconnected it here, and so I could spray, let's kind of worm it in here, see if we can spray coolant or washer fluid all over my master brake cylinder here. That would help us a little bit. So it's coming out there, so that's a good sign. So I know I have washer fluid, but it's not getting squirted yet. Well, look, I hear water running somewhere, so I think we have another disconnection somewhere.
Coming down under the fender well.
Yeah, we're dripping coolant, washer fluid, so we have a disconnection under the cowl. So that's not cool, but it's awesome because it's part of the video. So I'm gonna button this up now, and so I'll kind of have my camera person follow me along as I put it back together again. We have this 7mm screw on the wiper, on the windshield washer fluid neck here. I have the 10mm for the tank corner here, which has to come up a little bit to meet it. Next we have the tray, which honestly, outside of just plugging this hole, that would be the only reason why I'm putting this thing back in. It's got the hole that it fits into the fender there, and it clips in right there on our little emissions canister there, and it's got another 10mm right to the fender again. It's going to be a little temperamental. And then finally we have the stud in the wheel well here, that's at 14. And we'll snug it down and we'll be good on that side. So there are a variety of Phillips screws to get the cowl off. This is just a little piece here. And actually, if I put the hood down with that one, if we remove it, hopefully we're just looking for a break in the line that we can reattach somehow. So we're just gonna pop this screw off, take this piece up with it, and all we're revealing is the hinge, and we have another screw right here we're gonna need to get to. I'm hoping I don't have to take the wipers off, but what would help us in this case would be to actually put them in the up position. So we're getting there, but there's definitely one under the hood. So well, up the hood goes again. We definitely have this one here. There is right here. There's another hole. And there's another one right here. Then there's another one in the middle right here. And there's one down here. So with those out, we've got quite a bit of play. So let's bring this up. Weather stripping is not hard to kind of yank on, just to kind of get it out of the way. That's going to give us access to right here. You can see that where our washer nozzles go, the other nozzle isn't there, the other hose isn't there anymore. If I reach it down in, here it is. So let's go ahead and plug those back together like they want to be. So we fixed the pump, so our video's over, but I'm having some issues with this side, and I guess it's just my nozzle. I tried poking, I took it off, and there's pressure coming out of the pipe, but it looks like my little nozzle's bad, so we'll have to pick one up at the parts store. I might as well get two, and we'll replace them both, but that'll be for another day. So if you, and we'll pan over to the side here. So if you guys have any questions, please leave them. If you have any comments, please leave those as well. Please subscribe to my channel, Turbo231, for more awesome videos of this truck and all the others. We got the Grand Prix over there we're also doing a video of, and of course you get to see the awesome stickers that we have now. So if you guys have a good day.